Hey there, Mary Farias here with 5 minutes is better than nothing, even while you're camping, of personal development. We're studying my book, How to Study Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich. We are on the chapter of persistence, chapter 9, page 218. This is what Napoleon Hill says. If you are following this book with the intention of applying the knowledge it conveys, your first test as to your persistence will come when you begin to follow the 6 steps described in the second chapter. Unless you are one of the 2 out of every 100 who already have a definite goal at which you are aiming and a definite plan, let me turn that off, and a definite plan for its attainment, sorry about that, you may read the instructions and then pass on with your daily routine and never comply with those instructions. The author is checking you up at this point because lack of persistence is one of the major causes of failure. Moreover, experience with thousands of people has proved that lack of persistence is a weakness common to the majority of men. It is a weakness which may be overcome by effort. The ease with which lack of persistence may be conquered will depend entirely upon the intensity of one's desire. The starting point of all achievement is desire. Keep this constantly in mind. Weak desires bring weak results, just as a small amount of fire makes a small amount of heat. If you find yourself lacking in persistence, this weakness may be remedied by building a stronger fire under your desires. Continue to read through the end, then go back to chapter 2 and start immediately to carry out the instructions given in connection with the 6 steps. The eagerness with which you follow these instructions will indicate clearly how much or how little you really desire to accumulate money. If you find that you are indifferent, you may be sure that you have not yet acquired the money consciousness, which you must possess before you can be sure of accumulating a fortune. Fortunes gravitate to men whose minds have been prepared to attract them, just as surely as water gravitates into the ocean. In this book may be found all the stimuli necessary to attune any normal mind to the vibrations which will attract the object of one's desires. So this is a really important piece. He says, if we're finding that we are not persistent in pursuing our desires, or if we are unable to follow those habits or make those habits that we need to make in order to begin living into the desire that we want to achieve, then we need to make sure that we begin to fuel that desire even further. So go forth and go to chapter 2 and follow those 6 steps where you write down your desire and you make a written description of it and create a plan and timeline. And you need to read it in the morning and at night and carry it with you throughout the day. That's kind of a summary of those 6 steps. So what I'm saying is if your eagerness is not way up here when it comes to following those 6 steps and pursuing them and continuously involving yourself with your desire, then your desire is not strong enough. And we can create a stronger desire. Go back to the chapter on desire. It is really important that we begin to understand that desires don't necessarily just stay super duper strong while we are persisting throughout. We have to understand that we need to continue to nurture those desires. We need to continue to remind ourselves, why do I want this? Why is it so important to me to have this that I'm going after? What is it going to do for me, for my life, for my family's life, for the world? So we have to remind ourselves of this why in order to make this persistence test pass. We need to pass the persistence. That's really what it comes down to. So go back to chapter 2 and read those 6 steps that Napoleon Hill's talking about, and that is going to help you in your effort towards greater persistence. All for now. See you tomorrow.